I must say it's a very, very big day for me because in studio I'm joined by two wonderful gentlemen. And one of them, as we begin, is Ken Monjera, and he's the president of one big organization, and it deals with fun and children, and he's going to tell us more about that. But before we get there, Ken, please say hi to the viewers.
Okay, hi viewers. I'm so delighted to be on station today. Indeed, it's a pleasure to be on your studio to highlight some of the issues that pertain children and education.
Ken, before we get to the science and fun with children, because I know you so love kids, you've seen me grow, you've been there with me, maybe we can get to know who is Ken, where you were born, where you went to school.
Okay.
Are you taken? You know, there's some people there out there who would love to know, is that ring on your finger really a ring? Or so basically, who are you?
Okay, as I've said, I'm Kenneth Monjera. I grew up in the western parts of Kenya, in remote areas that maybe you might not have thought of such kind of a person coming from such an area. As a small boy who went to primary school without shoes and went to high school as a day school, a school with just 4 classes only, Form 1 to Form 4,
wow,
without a lab, without a library, and you know, all the way grew up to be a God-fearing child.
wow.
Because my background, we had parents who are really God-fearing. And so what I would say is it took determination, it took the grace of God to really make me who I am. And always people know me as Dr. Fan. Why? Because I've gone all the way doing big science, but then I've realized the key thing that we need, every one of us needs to do, is to empower the Kenyan child.
So viewers, as we continue, we have learned something there about determination and of course putting God first in everything that you do. And I would say that was resilience. So congratulations. And maybe you can tell us more about your organization, so that I have seen you on many platforms and I must congratulate you.
Thank you.
I have seen you've traveled far and wide, spreading the gospel of science and fun, especially with kids. Maybe you can tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I would say I joined after university life. I joined an agricultural research institution in the year 2006. Yeah, 2006. So that's the time I really came to work with research, and mostly on animal viruses and all that within the Kenya Agriculture and Livestock Research Organization. And since that time, it really gave me a mind that, okay, someone can come from nothing to something.
Sure.
And at that time, I only had a diploma, from the Technical University of Kenya. So there were so many challenges that I met in terms of people who are maybe saying you cannot make it, as well as people who say, no, you'll make it. So I met all those friends, and I decided to take on friends who gave me the real courage to make it in life.
Awesome.
I'm really humbled, but I've been to quite a number of universities, all the way from private to public, like Kenya Methodist University. I've talked about Technical University of Kenya. I've been to Kenya Methodist University, and I've also been to University of Nairobi, Northwest University in South Africa, Stellenbosch University in South Africa. I've been to Australia National University. I've been to Imperial College in London. I've been to Cornell University in the USA.
Wow.
So what I would say is it has taken God's hand, and of course the way you say determination, and having the right friends.
Awesome.
That's very key.
Awesome. And one thing, Ken, we fellowship together, so at times I'll refer you to Brother Ken, because one thing also, we are proud of our faith. We are proud that wherever we are, it is God, and it has only taken the hand of God.
Sure, that's true.
Apart from the science thing and you having an organization, I must say you've seen me through grow, especially in my youthful days. And as you said, surrounding yourself with the right friends. You are also there. You are part of my story to be wherever I am today.
Yeah, and thank you.
Receive my sincere gratitude. So as we move on, Congratulations. I never knew that you're a professor, because I would call you a professor.
Not really,
I mean, you've gone to every
Actually,
continent.
the name brother is better.
I know, of course,
Right.
I know you are a humble man, but I mean, for someone out there, I would like them, especially the boy child, because they've been forgotten, to know that wherever you're coming from, it doesn't matter what your parents are not giving you. What matters is God on your side. Do you surround yourself with the right friends, as Ken said? So Ken, maybe you can tell us, why have you gone to all those universities? Is the science thing the one that has facilitated you to be, I mean, traveling all over the world, doing your fun thing? Maybe you can talk to me about that.
What I may say is it has taken God's grace, the way I say, because as a small boy, I was brought up in the Sunday school. I was brought up in the church. I was brought up with that faith that with God all things are possible.
Sure.
So it brought me out of a community that was engraved in a tradition, in alcohol, in all these, ungodly kind of background. And it was a big, remote area, poor people who just finish class 8 and go into drinking. So when I got to meet believers, Christians, they really gave me that hope. And of course, now I can say I met God. And that from that time, then I had the right attitude. And it took me into research, and that research has really, God bless the work of my hands, the way the Bible says. I really believe in that. So in whatever I was doing, I was able to, concentrate and dedicate my time in it. And it saw me go, abroad. And, actually I would crack a joke here, but it's not a joke, it's real life. My first time to be on flight was in the year 2009.
Wow.
So I used to see an aeroplane up there, and of course, as a child, you say, "Oh, look at that aeroplane." But the first time to board an aeroplane, I never, knowledge is power. So I never knew that there are washrooms on the aeroplane. So I did not eat at home. I did not eat at the airport. I did not eat on flight. And I had quite challenges even before I landed in Egypt, in Cairo. So coming back is when I realized people are moving back in the aeroplane and coming forth. And I was wondering, and since I used to be I was brought up by uncles who used to give me stories. So they would say there's a football pitch. I mean, there's you can go swim on the aeroplane. So I said, okay, let me check it out. And I realized that there are toilets on the aeroplane. And that's how I asked them to serve me with food. So what I would say is, regardless where you come from, regardless who you are, you can make it. And then now, when I realized that the world is, creeping in darkness in so many ways, food security and all knowledge and all that, I realized that we are blaming university students and, professionals, and everyone is saying no one is taking up science and what. And then I realized the gap is nurturing the child. And that's how I plunged in with my passion to see how can we nurture a child to love science, to know that in every day, whatever is happening has a scientific background to it. And that's how I started the Fun and Education Global Network.
Awesome.
Fun is very important.
Wow.
Yes.
Ken, maybe you would talk to me about how have you seen it impact the society ever since you began? Talk to me about that.
So what I would say is there is a lot that we have been able to see in our children. Under the government, under the Kenya Agriculture and Livestock Research Organization, I founded the Children's Science Center Kenya. And being the first science center where children can go and have hands-on, minds-on, experiential learning in the curriculum, so that we are not teachers, but we engage them on explore and find out how things happen. So one, we have found that the learners want that pathway more. They're not just forced into, but they really want to explore. They want to know more. They want to open up and such kind of things. And then also we're looking at innovation. Now we've been able to tap a lot of innovation from children, from high school and primary school kids. And even I'm on part of the program that the president is the patron. It's known as Young Scientist Kenya. I'm part of that program. And the president realized the immense of innovation that can come from young people.
Awesome.
So I know most of us say, no, we don't want children to have fun. They touch water, they do what? They paint themselves, but that is the way that we should go.
Yeah.
That once you let them open up, they can really do amazing innovations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And on that part about we don't want kids to touch water and play with mud and everything. You know, when we were growing up, those are the things that we would find fun in.
Perfect.
Exactly. And you know, sometimes even as a grown-up, you feel when you see a kid doing that, you're like, I really want to do
Yes.
that, because it triggers
Perfect.
memories back then. And I must say, I'm so proud of you. Let me say that once again, because coming from nowhere until you're there, and now you've found this organization whereby you're helping a lot of kids. I mean, it takes a lot of creativity, a lot of I know sometimes you've had sleepless nights researching.
Sure.
Researching. You have had to read a lot, and not only staying there and saying God will provide. No, it really has to go hand in hand. Hard work, resilience, and everything that comes with it. And maybe Ken, you can expound on us how, maybe, for example, I want to be part of it. Maybe I want, do you welcome sponsors on board before we go on?
Yes, please, you're most welcome. Because I saw you growing, and I know right now you have good money. So please just come and support us. Mostly work with schools, and we work with families.
Yeah.
Because we say a child should be observed and monitored and empowered as an individual entity, as well as in a social setup.
Yeah.
So we deal with schools and all that. From the government side, I mean, they just come in and book for coming in, because there are so many groups that come in within the Kenya Agriculture and Livestock Research Organization, the Children's Science Center.
Yeah.
And there are so many programs that we run there. For Fun and Education Global Network, the main aim is the world is becoming a village. So right now I can be here, and tomorrow I can be in the US and the other, so how can we bring all these children to learn from each other? And the other thing is, now we have had the COVID-19 pandemic. It started from a single point, and now it's all over.
Yeah.
So how can children or our learners or everyone know what is happening in other countries, so that in case it happens in our country, they already know the measures to take. Our children also travel abroad. And whenever they are traveling for school trips and all that, they might go to the US, and then it happens that there is hurricane. They don't know how to go into the safety chambers. They don't know what. So we are really equipping our learners to know that, one, the world is a village. And even the president launched recently the global education, where they can do, whether using online platforms and such. And what I've also come to realize is most of our teachers have never traveled. They even don't have passports.
Very true.
Our children, I don't know what percentage do have passports. Because we have had a chance where we are traveling with the learners and with the teachers, and they are unable, we have money, we have everything, but they are unable to secure passports on time. So what I would say is, Fun and Education is opening up your mind to know that it is your right to have a passport document, and you can travel at any time, and the work that you're doing, whether in a local setup, whether it's in a very remote school, they have an innovation to showcase to the world, not only to Kenya. So we should go beyond national. We take them to international forums. This is also not the time of us experts traveling. I know you've said you've seen me travel here and there. That was the time I was laying foundation for Fun and Education Global Network. But right now, I want teachers to travel with their learners so that they also have the experience. The first time I was on flight, I was taking a lot of selfies. But right now, I go and I just sleep on flight, because it's no longer, fun for flight.
Exciting,
but that teacher from a remote area, if I just give that teacher an opportunity to fly to South Africa or what, they will come back and appreciate themselves so much that they are global. So think global, act local.
Awesome. Think global, act local.
Yeah,
awesome.
right.
Awesome. That's a very, very golden nugget. I've never heard of it. When we were growing up and we were in high school, most of us chose humanity subjects because we really feared the science subjects. Myself, I remember, I had chosen the three sciences in Form 3, But then when we went to second term of Form 3, I called my mom and I was crying and I told her, Mom, you have to come to school because I can no longer take physics. Like,
Oh, no.
it's not me
Yeah.
and physics, we are not in the same WhatsApp group. And so she came over and I was shifted to the history class. And I'm thinking right now, if Ken would have been there by then,
Oh, yeah.
I would have done those sciences. I must say I'm appreciating it right now, because at least if my siblings, those who are behind me, or a youth in church, and they are facing those challenges, I can bring them to you. I can bring them to Fun Global, or even to your place of work, and then from there we can be able to walk and journey through.
Wow, that's you're most welcome. And I would say how science was presented is what made learners fear about it.
Yeah.
Because science is the simplest. I always tell people, science, math, and all that, they are the simplest.
Exactly.
Like even our grandmother, if you take 100 shillings to her, she will know that that's 100 shillings. Why? That's math,
Yeah,
right?
it's
you
math.
know the date you are born, that's math. So the way it is presented, everything you count, how much do you have and whatever, you always count. So math is very important. And then also science, even when you're preparing tea, you're mixing tea leaves, sugar, milk, it's science. And you say, wow, this tastes nice. It is science. You have yogurt.
Yeah.
What is that yogurt? It was through science, you know, bacteria and all that.
Yeah.
So what I would say is we are here also to help teachers, because we don't want to be fun and education running everything. But what we do is we run teachers workshops so that teachers can know the approach to use to engage learners until they say, wow.
Yeah.
Because that wow opens their curiosity to want to know more, right?
Yeah.
How many teachers do drive? There are teachers who drive. But you can just open the bonnet and children can come and learn about engineering. Just on your car.
Yeah.
So we have the resources, but it's just the mentality on how to utilize local available resources to learn science.
Wow. The fact that the government has introduced CBC. It's you coming and your team telling us this is a housefly, this is the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. This is how it functions. Like you said, the bonnet of a car, this is how ABCD functions. And so they somehow interact very well. And now the learner starts to appreciate it, rather than just sitting in class and being told stories like zile za nini za abunwasi, zile hadithi za abunwasi, because you're there and you're asking yourself, what is he telling me about the bonnet? And also maybe you will answer this together with that question. What age are you taking in for the Fun Global? Like, do you have an age limit?
Okay.
And when you mean teachers, what do you mean? Are they only the classroom teachers, or I can volunteer myself, or maybe you're even giving a salary? I mean, can we come on board and we together globally, I mean, can we join hands and we do this thing?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. What I normally say is I'm waiting for the time that we'll have a classroom without the board, you know?
Yeah.
A classroom where you just go sit randomly and everyone is seated down, the teacher is seated, children are seated, or they're standing, or they're outside, and yet they are learning. Because the way the curriculum was set, initial curriculum, it was read, write, and exams, right? So we had a very, very sharp, you know, people used to get first class, whether at university or high marks and all that. But then when they come hands-on, the industry even employing them, they say, oh no, these are graduate and they don't have skills.
Exactly.
So what we are trying to come, what I'm appreciating the government on is by rolling the competence-based curriculum. But despite that, they rolled the competence-based curriculum in a system engraved in white-collar jobs.
Yeah.
You see the way I'm dressed right now?
Yeah.
This is how a teacher dresses up.
Yeah.
So they don't want someone to touch them. They feel they're so clean and all that. But not Dr. Fan. Of course, right now, I even in my bag, I have a tracksuit there. I can just change and get into business. So that is engraved in our teachers. So when you tell a teacher now it's time to sit down, they're asking you, what do you mean? So we need not only to change the curriculum for basic education, but all through colleges and universities, because they're the ones coming to teach. So that is how we are trying to come in and complement or supplement with the materials and with the fun approaches. The other thing about who do we engage, we engage everyone. I would say anyone who visits us finds fun.
Wow.
Because in every individual, every adult, there's a child behind them, right?
Exactly.
And that's why sometimes you find you are laughing, and when you find out what is making you laugh, it's just a simple thing.
Very simple.
So what we do is we welcome everyone. Parents also should play a role, because parents are educators for the children. So what we do is we have sessions for parents. We have sessions for parents and their children, and we have sessions for parents, children, teachers, as well as individual of all those groups.
Awesome.
The other thing is we start all the way from ECD. So these children who are just joining school, PP1 and all that, you want to monitor them on their passion area, right? So that you don't just tell them, become a pilot, become a doctor, become an engineer. You want to monitor them and observe and see this child likes doing this. And then now you nurture them in that manner.
Wow.
And that's what our friend, always says. It's, finding who you are and becoming, right?
Wow.
Self-actualization. So that process, the whole of the process, we do it. And then we also run school science clubs. Not really running as per se, but we go to a school and we're able to equip teachers, and together with them, we revamp the science club, we revamp any other clubs that we see are relevant for learning, even music, because you can use music in teaching. I'm waiting for a time I'll see a mathematics teacher go in class and take a whole lesson singing mathematical music, and that's my passion.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's high time we join hands and we get to do this thing, because we can't run the world this way. Because before you came in, I was talking with our producer, and we were saying, for him, he was telling me he didn't appreciate going to an office and looking for a job. Why? Because he felt like they were not exposed well enough. They were just in class for the theoretical part, but for the practical part, they didn't. They were not well taught, and so for him, he felt like I don't want to go to an office to look for a job. And now I'm thinking, if back then this the Dr. Fan thing had come in place, maybe right now he would have been a very, very big engineer. It's not like being a producer is bad, but I mean most of our talents, we will go to them in the grave, because they weren't realized early enough. But now we are appreciating the fact that you've come in, and at least now even myself, I can come and I can be able to self-actualize myself. And so how can we join?
I think if you Google Dr. Fan, you'll find me everywhere. If you Google Fan and Education Global Network, you'll get to it, and the contacts and the website and all that. And maybe what I would also add is most of us, there's something that is in us of thinking that we are poor. We cannot engage our children in extra co-curricular activities. When you tell a parent, okay, you need to pay 500, then I can equip your child with this, they say, no. Is it part of the curriculum? Is it going to, So what I would say is, if our parents' mindset change, on how they need to engage their children, because sometimes you can lock the door and you lock your children in the house, and you say and you even beat them. There are parents who do that, and they say you have to read. They are so bored. Whatever they are reading, they cannot even get it, and that's why they hide and they switch on the computer and then they switch off, and you think they are reading. So parents need to find this niche of fun, education with fun, and then engage them. Because during COVID time, we've actually run so many programs, and parents just were amazed. Because children were put on internet, parents were told to go back to work, and yet children are at home. So when we engage them through a global network, and we tell them, you need to do this project, and then come and show us the progress, and we give them other children, whatever race, black, white, and Indians and all that, they were just like, wow, amazing. So that kept them to utilize the time in a very good way without it being a law, right? So your children, once we engage our children in creative thinking, and with that fun and with the curiosity, they will be passionate with what they do.
Awesome.
And you will never miss it.
Awesome. And actually, do you know it's never expensive investing in your kid? I'm not there yet, but I'm imagining, you know what our dad normally tells us? I no longer have land to give you, because you remember the law was recently passed that even we as ladies, we should have a portion of what our parents have. And what he tells us is, the best you can get from me is me educating you to wherever heights you want to go. It's not like he is rich. No, he's not rich. But he tells us, to whatever heights you want to go, education-wise, I am here for you, because I don't have land. I mean, I don't have the 10 acres to give you. And so I would also emphasize and tell parents there, wherever you go to the office and Dr. Fan tells you to, and I know you are very affordable, I know that, for your kid, it's
just
never
for your
expensive.
case, we say we never say no to any parent. We never say no to any child.
Awesome.
What we just say is there is something that you can contribute to it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Because actually, I know you're not there to make profit.
Yeah.
It's only that you're feeling this burden and passion, and it's pushing you towards making the world a better place. And you know, if we would have another Ken and another Ken and another Ken, then the world would become ultimately the best place to live in, because you identify an area that you find there's a niche, and you sort it out, and then ultimately we live in a very, very nice place. So kudos to you because of that. And you said we can Google Dr. Fan, and we will find you in all social media platforms.
Sure, all social media platforms.
Awesome.
And what I would leave with you is, life is so good. You don't need to get stressed. You don't need even to shed any tear. Life is just so good.
Yeah.
And that's why when you find you are stressed or your child is stressed or such kind of things, it's just the mindset. And of course, most of us don't appreciate what is around us and all that. But the families or children or schools that have been able to go to and engage them, they just feel life is so good. The other thing is, we need to get professors, doctors, engineers back to our primary schools.
Yeah.
We really need those people. So we don't tell children you want to become a pilot and they just have seen the aeroplane passing up there. We need that pilot to come in uniform to the school and they have a selfie with that pilot. And the final thing is, because of security, children always, everyone fears police officers. And I always wonder why. We need to get these police officers to the schools so that they can have selfies with children, and children can know that a police officer is a profession and is a good person. He's protecting you. He wants you to stay in a good environment. So we need really to work together, and together, yes, we can. I can mindset is very key.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Ken, before you leave, as we were beginning our show, we mentioned that we are Christians. You are a Christian, I'm a Christian. And I feel it's not fair to our viewers if we leave without you maybe telling us. You said you're a Christian and you've been brought up in a Christian background.
Yes.
But what is that one thing that pushes you to still stand for Christ as still you're climbing the corporate ladder? You're going to those universities. You're owning your own organization. You're having coffee with the president himself, His Excellency. I mean, you're having it all in life, but still you choose to stand for Christ. What is that one thing that pushes you to still stand for Him, live like a Christian, and say, no matter what, the science thing can come to an end, but the Word of God will never come to an end?
Yeah, what I would say is this. One thing that we should realize is that I don't mean you be rich, you have all knowledge, and now you have the things that you need. We realize in life, whatever you have, whether you have, the whole Karen or Runda or whatever, as a human being, you will always face challenges. And when you look at the supernatural, then that is God, right? And when you put your life in God, then you are eternal. You don't think, oh, I'll die one day, or I'll leave this. You really, actually, the joy in all your achievement is about God, right? And that's why it says, count on your blessings. It's not that you merit, you have a merit or what,
Yeah.
but it's because God helps you identify who you are and achieve it with joy, right?
Yeah.
And that's why you can see a person driving a Mercedes-Benz, a Prado, and they are full of stress. They're actually crying.
Yeah.
So the only thing that can make you and relax
Yeah.
is only Christ.
Awesome.
And when you put God first, you will never go wrong.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Do you leave contacts, or we just Google and we will find you? Can you say your number? Are you
Yeah,
comfortable?
what I would say is if you go to Google about Fun and Education Global Network and Science Center Kenya, you will definitely get, because it's all over Facebook,
Yeah.
Twitter and all that. Just Google Fun and Education Global Network. The contacts that you'll get there, you can use them and just get to us, and we'll be able to interact with you.
Awesome.
Your time will change. Just try us one day and you'll never regret.
Thank you so much. Really want to appreciate you for making time out of your busy schedule to come
Thank
and
you.
be with us here at Blooming Rose TV. And we are glad that at least our mindset has changed. And we will now, from now henceforth, have the yes we can mindset.
Thank you.
And we will overcome. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
may God bless you.
Thank you so much. God bless you. And thank you. Thank you for hosting me.
Amen. You're most welcome.